Good day, South Africa. Action SA's coalition partners' pessimism from 6 months ago about the Buffalo City Mayor's competency seemed to have been proven as being accurate, as we are currently seeing a demonstration thereof. 2 months ago, we were already witnessing the local residents' disgruntlement and the inability of the municipality to provide adequate service delivery when they undertook to some protest action at the municipal buildings. The protests occurred after the current executive mayor had been in office for just over 3 months, which is the approximate time which the Action SA's coalition partners had predicted that there would be enough evidence to encourage a motion of no confidence against current Mayor Princess Faku. It seems that the ANC's latest series of attempts to find a suitable mayor for this coastal city in the Eastern Cape haven't succeeded, as the penultimate mayor of Buffalo, Kola Pagati, was recalled during his term by his political party. Former Mayor Pagati's term at the helm was tainted by allegations of his running of a, quote, dirty, dilapidated city, an incorrect billing system, and outsourcing of core municipal functions, unquote, before being removed by the ANC. Pollution stemming from cities has become a normalcy in South African urban centres, as according to the Green Drop report, quote, more than 60% of South Africa's sewage and wastewater treatment works are in a poor to critical state, unquote. The Action SA's latest resolution to approach the courts with regards to Buffalo City's poor management of its water treatment systems is similar to the issues raised by the South African Human Rights Commission due to the actions of the residents of the city of Tshwane. Here's an account from Action SA's Eastern Cape Regional Chairperson Athol Trollip.
Action SA in the Eastern Cape briefed the media earlier today about what the party calls the deplorable conditions in which Buffalo City Municipality sanitation finds itself in after 3 decades of ANC neglect. The provincial chairperson Athol Trollip said the party's legal team is compelled to take action against the municipality. He joins us now for an update. Athol, thank you for making time for us this afternoon. How bad is the situation in Buffalo City Municipality? What are the conditions?
Well, Clement, thanks very much for the opportunity to talk to you and to your viewers. The reason we chose Buffalo City is threefold, but let me just tell you that we're very concerned about wastewater treatment across this province. I believe that every single municipality in this province is non-compliant with the treatment of wastewater or effluent, and that most of this raw sewage is being discharged into our rivers and into our water courses and even into water storage facilities for human consumption. So what we did was we looked at the 2 metros in the province and another municipality called Makana, which is commonly known as Grahamstown, and all 3 of them are completely dysfunctional when it comes to wastewater treatment. But Buffalo City we chose because even by their own accounts, 13 of the 15 wastewater treatment sites are non-compliant, and there is already some litigation against the municipality where the Nahoon Estuary Management Forum have taken the municipality to court on a number of occasions and got a number of court orders. So we believed we could leverage on that. But also I visited 5 of these sites myself over the last 5 months, and this week we visited them again, and 5 of them are completely dysfunctional. You can go there at any time of the day. You can get access to the wastewater treatment site. There aren't any municipal staff on site. There are no sanitation staff. And if they are there, they don't do any work because the infrastructure has been vandalized or stolen. So for all intents and purposes, it is completely dysfunctional. And my concern is that a lot of that water is going directly into the Bridal Drift Dam down the Buffalo River, and also into the Nahoon River and into the Nahoon Dam, and then millions and millions of litres of untreated raw sewage are also being discharged into the ocean, and that's why we chose Buffalo City. It's particularly dysfunctional.
National Water Act number 36 of 1998, Chapter 3, Part 4, Section 19, Subsection 5A, details the remedial measures required in the instance of undue pollution of our water sources, as it's prescribed that, quote, subsection 5, a catchment management agency may recover all costs incurred from the following persons. A. Any person who is or was responsible for or who directly or indirectly contributed to the pollution or the potential pollution, unquote. What's clear is that the residents of Buffalo City deserve some justice in the form of the indictment of the officials responsible for the negligence that has occurred in the management of the city's water treatment system. There needs to be an extension of the list of perpetrators from Tshwane and other cities already undergoing internal disciplinary processes, including being investigated by the Special Investigating Unit, or the SIU, and South African Police Service, or SAPS. Ethel Troller, Action SA Eastern Cape Provincial Chairperson, is leading the charges to be laid in court against the Buffalo City Municipality, as this city is becoming a cesspool of deadly diseases that stand to harm its residents and tourists alike. Our country's executive capital city's municipality, City of Tshwane, is battling to maintain a functioning city as we see an accumulation of its problems not coming to an end. 2 weeks ago on Monday, the South African Local Government Bargaining Council, or the Salgbc'S, was reported to have rejected this municipality's plea for an exemption of a previously agreed upon increase in workers' wages for this year, with financial constraints being used as the reason. The country's biggest trade union, the Congress of South African Trade Unions, or COSATU, has expressed its satisfaction with the Salgbc'S decision, as this is an issue which affects hundreds of thousands of its affiliate union members, whom the Tshwane municipality's staff forms a considerable portion thereof. COSATU's affiliate, the South African Municipal Workers Union, or SAMWU, comes from achieving a compliance order from the Salgbc's over 2 months ago, which directed the city of Tshwane to pay staff their 5.4% salary and wage increase in accordance with the 2021 salary and wage collective agreement. Whilst the Salgbc is seeming to be successfully managing the flow of money to the personnel of the Tshwane municipality, this public entity is facing some legal challenges pertaining to its treatment of pension fund trustees of the Municipal Workers' Retirement Fund, including its affiliates. It was determined by the Pretoria High Court that the Retirement Fund Collective Agreement concluded by Salgbc, South African Local Government Association, or SALGA, Independent Municipal and Allied Trade Union, IMATU, as well as the South African Municipal Workers Union, or SAMWU, was infringing upon the independence of retirement fund trustees. This collective agreement sought to force fund trustees to be accredited by Salgbc before they could start receiving subscriber or worker contributions. Salgbc's legislative capabilities are being tested thoroughly as the financial service providers are engaging this National Council of Provinces seats holder in a tug of war in order to achieve economic justice for the main stakeholder in this financial system, namely the public. The city of Tshwane also announced that it would appeal Salgbc's decision to reject the exemption of a wage and salary increase for the municipality's personnel. Here's the mayor of Tshwane, Silius Brink's reaction to the dismissal of the exemption.
To the city of Tshwane, where their bid to be exempted from salary increases has failed. The SA Local Government Bargaining Council dismissed the application yesterday. Now, what does this mean? It means that it will have to comply with the 2021 collective wage agreement. But the city wants the decision to be reviewed, saying it simply does not have the money. Let's find out how they plan to move forward. And joining us for that conversation is Mayor Sewerage Brink. A very good morning to you, Mayor Brink. Your reaction to this decision? You seem to have been quite confident that the outcome will be very different from what it was yesterday.
Well, you take your chances. You never quite know what a tribunal or a court will say. What we are sure of is that we don't have the money to pay this increase. It will cost 600 million rand, which we don't have. When we adopted the budget of the city, we made it clear that the budget is underfunded by about 3 billion rand at least, because of the losses made on load shedding, the poor tariff to the electricity, or the poor tariffing by NERSA to the electricity crisis, and various shocks that the city has had to go through. And I believe that, unfortunately, the Bargaining Council misdirected itself in this instance. What they did, apparently, was to look at what we spent on salaries last year, or in the previous financial year, and then said, well, you underspent on salaries in the previous financial year. You must have some money left, which is, of course, from a financial point of view, ridiculous, because cash flow is the reality of the situation. There might have been underspending on salaries in the previous financial year. That does not translate into money for salary increases in the present financial year. So we believe there are very valid grounds for the city to take this on review. And of course, by doing so, we are acting within the ambit of the law. We're not acting unlawfully. We're doing what is open to the city to do, and we believe we are acting in the interests of residents, who are ultimately the folks that pay for these increases.
With regards to prioritizing the needs of our citizens, it is an apt decision by the pension fund trustees to elevate their disgruntlements to a superior court, specifically the High Court, as the Labour Court is of similar status. According to the Labour Relations Act No. 66 of 1995's Chapter 3, Part B 24, Subsection 2C and Subsection 7, the aforementioned steps are the very processes that are to be followed under such circumstances, in that, quote, Subsection 2, if there is a dispute about the interpretation or application of a collective agreement, any party to the dispute may refer the dispute in writing to the Commission, which is the Commission for Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration, if C. any party to the collective agreement has frustrated the resolution of the dispute in terms of the collective agreement. 7. Any person bound by an arbitration award about the interpretation or application, unquote, of the agreement, quote, may appeal against that award to the Labour Court, unquote. Funzi Ngobeni, Action SA Gauteng Provincial Chairperson, asserts Action SA's approval of the latest decision made by SALGBC towards resolving the City of Tshwane Municipality's staff salary and wages increase collective agreements dishonoring. Thank you.
FMG.